Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, know the voice of the guys, me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. First and foremost, shout out to the WWE fans that listen to the show. And shouts out to Naomi for winning the Women's World Championship. Oh, I love it. I love it. As a villain myself, I love it when a good heel wins the championship. And I feel like I won the weekend because last week was sugar honey iced tea. But the weekend was good and the weekend pulled us out of the hole. Let's talk about it here. I had Dream Fever over 167 in the last episode that cashed. Seattle team total over did not, though. However, shout out to Gabby Williams, yet another PRA cash. Ryan Howard on the social media play that didn't go through, and I lost the Degen summer pick with the summer league. It's cool. I wasn't really worried about summer league pick. That was just for fun, but I still plan on playing more of those. I actually have a summer league player prop that's going to drop on social media tomorrow, so check out for that. I'm going to try to get a good win there. All right, we have a long weekend that after a down week, I was able to pull myself out of the hole because Nafisa Collier went over 21 and a half points. Tip Hayes went over 12 and a half points, and another Valkyries first half. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving every single time. Oh man, so shout out to Tip for cashing the revenge game. Shout out to the Valkyries for still getting the first half cover there, and they won it outright. Paige Becker's over 16 and a half points up against Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. She even went over 20 plus on the ladder there. Didn't get 25 for 500, but you know what? It was fine. It was just a sprinkle. The good and the money was on 16 and a half, and it was definitely on 20 plus points. So if the Wings were competent at all, I thought we would have got to 25, but they were kind of out of the game. Brianna Stewart, I thought that points prop was low for her at 19 and a half. I played it. It didn't get there. It's all good. Bree Jones, however, shot me. She had 8 points at halftime and finished with 8 points. They couldn't get the ball to her. It's not even like they stopped giving her the ball. They couldn't get the ball to her. It was really, really hard for her to be able to establish herself in the post in the second half. The Liberty were running in the second half, and it just, the game got away from Bree Jones because she was 4 for 5. Like, she was cooking them in the first half. Whenever she got the ball, she was able to do something with it, but it is what it is. I would have liked to have those to even help get myself out of a hole, but Sanaya Rivers came through at the end with 9.5 points, and I really wish that I had just went ahead and laddered Sanaya Rivers too, because it was a gut call. It was a great handicap. She got the turnovers. The game speed was a speed that she loves to play at, and she took advantage. I think she started the game 4 for 4. Like it was very, very good for Sanaya Rivers, man. Very good game. She finished with 20 points. I should have laddered that. But it's all right. It's all good because we had a good week. All the plus money value was with the Valkyries this week in the first half. Those cashed. Finished 8 and 11 in the plays that I gave out on social media, on the podcast, and in Discord. But Gabby Williams also 2-1 with the PRA, the Valkyries first half, all of that together. It was a good week. It was a good week. We were able to come out on top. And so now I would like to have an even actual good week of bets on the show throughout the week and not just leaning on the trends. But that's why I say lean on your trends. You go and identify a couple of trends that work for you, a few trends that work for you throughout the season, and just buy into those because if the trend is a good trend, it's going to keep cashing. This Valkyrie's first half play just continues to cash, 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 and there's nothing the books can do about it. Nothing. So I am continue to play it. The Valkyries first half helped. I would have had a horrible week if I didn't have that trend in my back pocket. It would have been a horrible week. It would have been probably a horrible past couple of weeks if I didn't have this trend in my back pocket. It's a really good trend, so you just got to buy into them sometimes. All right, I got a couple of plays for you here on Monday, but first, let's talk about Bet365 real quick. Go over there and lock in on Bet365. They have a special offer for our listeners. Turn $5 into $150 of bonus bets when you join Bet365. To claim the offer, just go to bettingpros.com/bet365 and deposit at least $10. And if you place at least a $5 bet, you'll get that $150 in bonus bets. Again, bettingpros.com/bet365. 21 and older only, must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, North Carolina, raise up, Louisiana, New Jersey, Ohio, Tennessee, and a Virginia. Clips dropped the novel. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF if you live in Iowa. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's talk about my Valkyries, because my Valkyries are going up against the Phoenix Mercury. My Valkyries are laying 1.5 here. It opened up Mercury plus 1.5. I mean, actually, it opened up Mercury minus 1.5. I'm sorry. And then Satu Sabali and Clea Copper were ruled out, and then the line flipped, and I was my Valkyries laying 1.5. 158.5 is the total. Of course, you're playing the first half line on the Valkyries. Everybody should know that if you didn't catch it in the little bit of the rant that I just had. But you should also know that I am going to just go ahead and take the under in this game, under 158.5, because here's something that I've noticed about the Valkyries, because I'm completely in love with this team over the course of this season. When they've just had a complete, utter, ugly game defensively the game before, Natalie Nakase really, really puts those adjustments in, and they really bounce back in a big way. They've done this actually a few times over the course of this season, where they gave up a really, really big game to the New York Liberty in the first game of a back-to-back set against them. They gave up 95 points in that game. And then they turned around a couple of days later, played the Liberty, still in New York at this point, and they put up a better defensive effort. They still lost the game because the Liberty are a good team, but it went under the total of 164.5 there. So you look back, and they did this again with the Atlanta Dream very recently, where they gave up 90 points to Atlanta Dream. This is the second best defense in the WNBA over the course of the entire season. Gave up 90 points to the Atlanta Dream on the road. And it was a horrible game. It was so many points. Natalie Kase, again, was really, really frustrated at the defense. They turn around, and in one game, they go play the Indiana Fever, and they hold them to 61 points on the road. An Indiana team that loves to have offensive explosions at home, with Caitlin Clark, 61 points. Guess what? They just did it again with a horrible defensive showing the game after that game against the Las Vegas Aces, where they gave up 104 points. Asia Wilson had 34. Natalie Nakase was fuming at halftime in the halftime interview, saying that her team wasn't even trying defensively out there, and she just wanted to get them to force some type of stop. And they couldn't do it for the rest of the game. They ended up giving 104 points. I think the adjustments are going to come in for Natalie Nakase. There's multiple reasons for this as well. They're back at home now, so they're so much of a better home team, and they're a lot better defensively at home than they are on the road. You look at what the Valkyries are at home this season, and they are holding their opponent's team total to 2-8. They are 4-6 to the under for this game. You have the Mercury, who are tinkering and playing around with the lineup and trying to figure things out there. And you have Satu Sabali and Kalia Copper, who are still injured, and they're still trying to find their footing. And so what have they started to do when Kalia Copper, Satu Sabali have been out? They played through AT, and they've gotten the ball to Sammy Whitcomb on the outside, to Akoa Makani on the outside. They've gotten into all their three-point shooters, and they just excel at hitting their three-point shots. Alyssa Thomas has been getting the assists, and it's been going well. The offense hasn't missed a beat, honestly. But this Valkyries team is really, really tough to the three-point line. The last 5 games, they're giving up 29.2% on the three-point line. I think that they're going to take away those options. I think that Natalie Nakase is going to be so locked in of, we are not going to embarrass ourselves defensively like that again. And this is going to be how Valkyries home games have been. Slower pace. The Valkyries have been playing very good defense. I think that you look at the Phoenix Mercury here. They've been great defensively on the road. They are the third best unit right there behind the Valkyries on the road in terms of opponents' points per game. So they've been playing really well defensively on the road. I think that this is going to be one of those slug it out, ugly games here where we see a low scoring total. And I could see 77, 75, something like that as a final score here. And we go under this total. So I like the under here. I like the under to go one. Wait, what was that number I got? 158. Yeah, let me double check that. I'm sorry. Yeah, 158 and a half. All right, under 158 and a half for the Golden State Valkyries and the Phoenix Mercury. I would say I do see 157 and a halves out there. This line is going down. That's what was throwing me off. Is yeah, there's a 157 and a half out there, and that wasn't out there when I started the show, and now there's a 157. So I think the line is going down. I think it's going the direction that I want it to go. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hop in now. Valkyries, Mercury under 158 and a half. Play number one. Before we get to play number two, just got to remind you that if you were very confused at all those extra bets that were on the screen, you said, hey, I didn't hear that on the podcast. Well, it's because we don't do the podcast over the weekends. But if you hop in the Discord, bettingpros.com/chat, you can get in there and get all of the daily picks. There's a whole bunch of people chatting, talking about things they like. And I am dropping all of those plays in my Fast Break Bets channel over the weekend. So that's why you have to be in the Discord. Go over there, get into our Discord right now, bettingpros.com/chat. All right. Second play, player prop in the first game. Minnesota Lynx going up against the Chicago Sky. Again, Chicago Sky got the win outright as I think it was 11.5 point dog in that game. Lynx are back laying 10.5, 161.5 is total. Player prop, I talked about it in the chat when I got a player interview with Angel Reese when I went up to the game in DC. And Angel Reese has been very, very good to her assist line. She was asked in that interview talking about her playmaking and the recent assists that she's had and all of that and how those numbers have been going up and how the coaching staff has empowered her to be a playmaker, like to initiate offense and help get those assists up. And she's been really, really good at passing out of double teams and getting it to open shooters and collecting those assists. You look at what she's done in the last 10 games, she's been over 3.5 assists in 7 of her last 10. 4 of her last 5 games, she's gone over this line 7, 6, 4, 4. She's been over twice this season against Minnesota with 6 and 4. It's even money, and I don't understand why. This is an aspect of her game that they are leaning on, and they're saying, Angel, we need you to make the right play. And I expect Minnesota to make a huge adjustment defensively. Huge adjustment defensively here from Minnesota. They've given up so many points over the last few games. And I think Angel, who's been on an absolute tear, they are going to find ways to try to get the ball out of her hands, not make it easy for her. They'll probably throw her a couple of double teams. And I trust her. She's going to make the right play. So I like Angel Reese. Go over 3.5 assists here. Plus money again. It's been a really, really good bet. Really good bet. So I'm going to keep running it. This seems like this is what the Sky wants to do with her. And while it's still plus money like this at a low number like this as well, 4 assists, come on. 1 assist a quarter. Absolutely. Angel Reese, over 3.5 assists. That's play number 2. There we go. Valkyries, Mercury under 158.5. Angel Reese over 3.5 assists. And that is it. I'm at really well __. Make sure you give me a follow on X at BettingPros on X and TikTok at BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you can get in on the Clyde Drexler jersey contest. Subscribe to Betting Pros YouTube channel. Comment on any Fast Break Bets video, and you'll have a chance to win that contest. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.